Hey, Mike Filipov here from PracticeGuitarNow.com, and in this video I want to talk to you about the biggest guitar practice mistake that I see guitar players make all the time that is stopping them from making the kind of progress they could and should be seeing in their playing. And that mistake is this: focusing all of their time and energy on trying to find out what to practice versus focusing on how to practice. And I see this all the time when guitar players ask me in emails or questions on Facebook and so on, Mike, what should I practice? What should I practice to reach this particular goal? What should I practice to improve this skill or that skill? And while you do, of course, need to have some exercises to practice, and you need to make sure these exercises are good and effective, that's obvious, of course. The much more important question that I hardly ever hear anybody asking is, how should I practice? How should I practice in general to improve in the fastest way possible? And how should I practice the exercises I already have to make sure I get the most out of them and become the best guitar player I can be in the shortest amount of time? This question of asking how should I practice the exercises I already have should come way before you look for any more new exercises. Let me give you an illustration to make this process more clear. And I will use sweep picking as an example here, even though this can apply to literally any aspect of your guitar playing. Playing rhythm guitar, learning songs, learning solos, improving your picking technique, whatever you want. But let's take the sweep picking as this example. I'm often asked things like, Mike, what should I practice to improve my sweep picking? What are the best exercises to get my sweep picking faster, get it cleaner, improve my two-hand synchronization, and every element you can imagine with sweep picking? What are the best exercises to practice each one? In reality, you can simply take one or two or three of the most basic arpeggio shapes, like this one, that everybody knows, and practice them and improve every one of these elements with your sweep picking. On the other hand, you can also search the internet for weeks and months searching for the most secret sweep picking exercises using the most obscure finger and picking patterns and still not improve anything with your sweep picking. And the difference comes down to improving how you practice each of the arpeggios you practice. For instance, you can take this one basic shape and play it through 100 times and simply rotate your focus, what you focus on each time you repeat the exercise, and thus train that particular element of your technique. So the item you practice, the what of your practicing, has not changed, but how you practice it can rotate constantly every time you practice. For example, I can repeat this arpeggio over and over non-stop, and every single repetition of the arpeggio, my mind could be rotating to focus on just my picking technique, just my fretting hand technique, the two-hand synchronization of both hands, or how clean in general every note that I'm playing sounds. And to an observer, it may look like I'm simply running through the arpeggio up and down, even mindlessly, because they don't see what's going on in my head. But in my head, in my mind, all the practicing is taking place up here. Now, am I saying that you only need one or two or three exercises to master guitar technique or master guitar playing? Of course not. Of course you need more than just one or two or three exercises. But the point is, how you practice is infinitely more important than what you practice. And the point also is, you do not need anywhere near as many exercises as you think you might need to reach any guitar playing goal you have. It's all about learning to maximize the effectiveness and the efficiency of how you practice. So, how do you make your practicing highly efficient and highly effective? Well, there are many ways of doing this, and this is one of the main things I train guitar players to do in my Rapid Fire Guitar Practice Training course. And I've already given you one example of how to do this right here in this video, which is focus rotation, which is where you take one exercise and you practice it over and over by repeating it many times, but the entire time you're doing this, your mind is your primary practice tool. your mind is rotating what it is paying attention to, and that aspect of your technique is being trained in that particular moment. I call this focusing on a micro level, which is taking just one tiny exercise and improving a variety of aspects of your playing with it. There's another way that I want to talk to you about here, which is sort of a macro level view of your practicing. It's like looking at the forest instead of looking at the trees, one individual tree. And this macro level of making your practicing more effective and more efficient is learning to set short-term goals correctly. And what I mean by this is that most guitar players have some general overview of what they want to achieve in their guitar playing 3, 5, 10 years from now. But very few people look at each individual practice session in terms of having a specific goal that you want to reach. Here's what I mean. Every single time you pick up your guitar to practice, that practice session should have its own specific set of small goals that you want to reach. And these goals should be very easy to measure and track. In other words, by the time you're done practicing, it should be a very simple yes or no question. Did I meet my daily practice objectives, or did I not meet them? Or did I at least make some significant headway towards meeting these objectives? Either yes or no. And this is hugely important and hugely beneficial for your guitar playing in progress for many reasons. The first reason is that it gives you a huge sense of accomplishment to know that, hey, not only did I practice guitar today, but I'm actually a better guitar player than I was yesterday because I set this goal that I wasn't able to do yesterday and I achieved it, or I moved a little bit closer to that goal. And tomorrow, I'll be a better guitar player than I am today. So imagine doing this every single day for 6 months, or for a year, or 2 years. Think of how much faster you will progress and how much more you will enjoy the process of making progress because you're able to set these tiny short-term goals for each practice session and achieve them, or move towards them. This is hugely beneficial and hugely inspiring. The second reason why this is so important is because it's a very simple yes or no answer. You know if you did reach your goal or if you didn't reach your goal. So if you're not able to meet whatever practice objectives you've set for yourself, one of two things has happened. Either you do not know how to really set these highly specific and very realistic to achieve goals in just one practice session, or you don't know how to practice effectively to make yourself reach these particular goals for each practice session you set. Whatever the reason is, you need to learn how to practice more effectively so you can set and reach these goals with each practice session. But at least now you know what exactly is holding you back. What aspect of your practicing efforts is the obstacle you need to overcome to see more progress and more results from your practice time. So what I want you to do right now is start applying these elements, focus rotation of just taking one exercise and changing what your mind pays attention to when you practice, and also setting specific short-term goals that are very easy to measure with each practice session you do. And you're going to notice that your practicing is becoming more efficient and more effective, and you're also starting to become aware of all the things that have been holding you back for years from seeing much faster progress and really moving towards becoming the guitar player you want to be. And to help you in even bigger ways to improve and maximize the effectiveness of your practicing, I want you to take a little test that'll help you to assess how much you really know about practicing guitar right now, and how good you are at assessing and fixing your own guitar practice problems. And I've put a little test together for you, and it's totally free, and it's on my website. Just go to the link right here, and you'll be taken to the page with that test. And after you complete it, I'm going to send you by email my answers to the test questions, and I'll also give you very specific and very detailed suggestions on what you need to do to make your practicing highly effective in all the areas that you're currently lacking. And this is very important, obviously. So check out that test right now, go through it, apply the concepts you learn from it into your practicing, and have fun, and I will see you in the next video.